For Parramatta, what was your view of it?
It was an exciting game from all points of view. I thought it was one of the best games I've seen this season, Rex, and I thought the game should have finished in a draw, actually.
It definitely was a try.
Was that?
Try.
Oh, come on, you're not even in the country. How would you know?
You're in Samoa.
Looked at it 15 times.
Yeah, well, that just shows you've got jaundiced eyes.
No, it was a great game. I thought the defence of
Silly
both
old
sides
game.
was absolutely superb, and it was only an individual effort, really, that Brett Keane to put a try on the board for either side. And it just shows you what type of football was played. Here's a try-saving tackle, if ever you've seen one. And he certainly would have scored Barclay. And I thought performed pretty well in the centres. I thought there was a doubt about him playing in the centres, but he came out very, very well indeed. This fellow played very well too, Warnicky. He held up with a beautiful pass, one-handed pass. But all over, I thought the tackling, I thought the attack from both sides. Yes, there were handling errors from the Eastern Suburbs side at time, but they kept the ball alive, and I didn't expect them to play as well as they did, the Eastern Suburbs, and as I repeat, I thought they deserved to just share the competition points on the day. Now, here's the first points in the first half coming up when Brett Kenny made a lovely tackle on John Tobin, but he held on, and I was just wondering at the time what John Gosher may have sent the fella to the sin bin, which he did do in a game over at Redfern Oval when Ken Stewart held Arthur Mounty in the Eastern Suburbs and West, rather South and West game earlier on the season.
Things go in and out of fashion, don't they?
They do, and it mightn't have been a bad experiment, but there is this magnificent try from Kenny, sidestepped and swerved, and a beautiful individual effort. Top try, really a great try.
I thought it was a great game and solid, tough, spectacular. The major point to come out of it from my point of view is Parramatta have got a great defensive setup. They're still playing very good attacking football, although I've been worried about Mick Cronin if I was Jack Gibson. I believe he needs a rest, I've said it before, even if he has to be forced to take it. One criticism of John Gosher, the referee, Peter Wynn, my man of the match, was allowed to get away with 2 attempted high tackles without a caution and even looked embarrassed on one occasion, whereas Jeff Masterman was quite rightly penalised on one occasion and Gary Warnicky on another for similar stupidities that landed. So doesn't intent come into it? If you throw a punch or a stiff arm and it doesn't land, isn't that as bad as one that does?
Well, I think in the
case well, of course it is. It should be.
No,
5/8 of an inch.
So it should be, and I think John Gosher needs to be totally consistent, and I'd like him to look at that aspect of his refereeing. That apart, I thought he had a pretty good game. I'll say on the form, with 3 of their better players like Cleo Lesclere and Dave Brown back, East are in this competition right up to their boot tops.
Very much so.
The second half penalty tally against East can be almost entirely laid at the door of Jeff Masterman's hooking technique. He just can't satisfy referees the way he lies down in scrums.
But there were 3 penalties outside the scrums too. I thought Jib made good tackles and put the elbow on 3 occasions in that particular game. That was really sad, and goals were quite stupid penalties, Rex.
Now, we've spoken many times about Brentnell and his bomb taking. Gurr is a very good artist at this too. I noticed that he's adopted the good one. Well, dive. It was an ankle tap, but quite legitimate in the circumstances.
How about 5
and that was
points?
A try-saver.
Yep.
Because that base had their chances. And it was just this splendid never-say-die attitude of the defence that cut him down.
Yeah, he had a good
game. Now, there again, exactly the same sort of thing.
To a sudden halt.
And sudden halt, and he gets a rise in height.
Up
Oops. And oops a daisy.
Sort of jumped up into his
yeah,
house.
didn't it? Try to Warnicky, you'll see it from both angles. The point at issue in this, 7 days after this game, a good percentage of people, like myself, and like Noel Kelly and Cole Pearce, are in doubt whether he scored. Yep. We must make the allowance that the referee had 1 second to make his decision, and he ruled against it because there was an element of doubt. If there's a doubt, he mustn't concede the try.
Exactly right.
That's what the rule says.
Yeah.
Right, and there's an element of doubt.
There is an element of doubt. It appeared as though he did lose the ball, but
Try.
he wouldn't
Put his hands on it.
No, his hands
It's an
slipped off the
amazing
back.
thing, you know. We went downstairs and play centre from a scrum position. Steve Ella goes to 5'8". Well, you know, Steve's not quicker off the mark than I am, and so Jack thought we'll put him at 5'8" from a scrum, and then after that, well, I'm 5'8" and general player, just got to work my way back in, and Steve works his way out. It's just the way it goes.
Well, you want to watch yourself, you might find yourself in a kangaroo tour if you keep playing like that.
Well, I hope so. That's what I'm aiming for.
Good luck.
Look, we didn't buy him on his scrapbook. We always knew he's a good player, and he's a very young player, and we thought he had a tremendous game today. He's missed a lot of games, missed a lot of football this year, but you know, he must get better. Each game he played, he'll get better and stronger. And
so you're pretty happy with the way
confident.
he's firing at the moment?
Yeah, and so is the players that play with him. That's more important than what I think, probably.
Was there any anxiety when it was 9-4, so East score a try and kick a goal and they're back with a level score? Did you think your guys should have gone for a field goal down there?
Well, there was plenty of anxiety the way East were playing. They wouldn't pack it in. We were hoping they would have been, but they kept on coming, and probably the field goal situation was on, but their defence really held careless there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you'd like to play it over again, but it's...
If you'd had communication with the field, would you have been calling out field goal?
No, I wouldn't have been saying anything. They were in enough trouble as it was without me confusing them.
Didn't need to be confused with the coach getting
No,
involved.
they sure didn't. No.
How good are Eastern Suburbs on that form? Do you think they're a Final Five contender?
Well, they're a grand final contender if they maintain that form.
The match was 31 minutes old before the first points went on the board. Tobin made this incisive run that took Eastern Suburbs well down into Parramatta's territory. Here's Tobin running hard now, pulled down, but watch the way the Parramatta players will not get off him and let him play the ball. The players were well in a defensive position, so the professional penalty was certainly not needed. It was given away. Giddo kicks the goal, and it was 2-0 the half-time score. 14 minutes into the second half, and here's the only try of the game. We see Sharp take the ball away to the left now from Taylor, who's a dummy half. Sharp with the ball, pulled down. Now from this play of the ball, Taylor takes it across to Ella. Here's Taylor, a dummy half again. Ella on the burst now, looking for support, gets it in Kenny. Look at the way Kenny cuts through the opposition. Beautiful piece of football, and that gave Parramatta the lead 7 points to 2. Look at it from the head on. You see the way he slices. Look, leaves Aylett standing for dead, lines up the fullback, leaves, well, just left them all behind as Kenny goes in for the try, and that put the game beyond doubt. 36-minute mark, here's the controversy. Warnicki's no try ruling. Warnicki dummies, tops, come back, goes for the line, and ruled by referee Gaucher, didn't get the ball down. Look at the head-on shot closely. When he's about an inch off the ground, he appears to lose it. His hand goes off the back of the ball. And referee Gaucher ruled he did not force the ball.